story halfway across the world is sending shockwaves here at home after months of back and forth. Israel and Hamas reach a deal to end the war in Gaza. We are closely following developments on Your News at 5 as we stream live on CBS News Philadelphia. It has been 466 bloody days, and finally, prayers for peace have been answered. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown. A long sought after ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas has finally been reached. About 2 hours ago, President Biden updated reporters.
And I'm proud to say Americans will be part of that hostage release in phase one as well. And the Vice President and I cannot wait to welcome them home.
In Israel and Gaza, celebrations in the streets erupted after 15 bloody months of war.
As soon as Sunday, Hamas could begin handing over Israeli hostages to Israel. CBS Philadelphia's Ryan Hughes has reaction from here at home.
Our hearts are just full of anticipation.
It's been more than 15 months of worry and prayer since the Israel-Hamas war began. And a sign in the lobby of the Katz Jewish Community Center in Cherry Hill has been keeping tabs on the number of days since hostages were taken into captivity. JCC CEO Jen Dubrow-Weiss says news of a ceasefire gives her hope.
Our hearts are with our brothers and sisters in Israel, and the atrocities that happened on October 7th and the war that has ensued have kept our minds and hearts many, many miles away.
Dubrow-Weiss led a group on a trip to Israel last February. She says they witnessed the haunting images of homes destroyed and spoke with many whose lives have been torn apart.
To know that families have been broken and families have been destroyed, and that people are now going to be able to come home to their families, to their loved ones, is something that is giving us hope for the first time in a really long time.
For us, the last 15 months have been really, really difficult.
Ahmed Kelioglu is the executive director of the Philadelphia chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE. He says thousands of Pennsylvania Palestinians, Muslims, and allies of all faiths who advocated for peace and justice are relieved and called news of a ceasefire and hostage deal long overdue.
Even though that cautious optimism exists, the overwhelming sense right now is one of relief, so that people can slowly try to return a sense of normalcy. And of course, under the whole destruction in Gaza, what that normal looks like is very different.
And both sides tell me they know everything can't be resolved overnight, but they continue to pray for peace and hope this leads to a more positive outcome for everyone in the Middle East. Reporting in Cherry Hill, Ryan Hughes, CBS News Philadelphia.
And here is a closer look at the deal. There are two phases. The first would last 42 days. Hamas would release 33 hostages, including women, the elderly, and the sick. In exchange, Israel would set free dozens of Palestinian detainees. Israel would also pull back to Gaza's perimeters, allowing humanitarian aid to start flowing once again. In phase two, Hamas would release the remaining hostages, alive and dead, with the focus shifting to rebuilding Gaza, as well as who will govern there in the future. The agreement still needs to be approved by Israel's parliament.